Hey Angela, this is Lori with Soul Sisters Digital Design. Thanks so much for coming out and seeing us at the Gone presentation last week, and for leaving your information so I could shoot this video for you. Now, the purpose of this video is to really show you how your digital presence and your business is stacking up against your competition online, and to possibly give you some steps or tips that you can take and implement to improve things. So, as Google crawls the web, it is really looking at three things: content, citations, and backlinks. So, those are the things I'm going to be talking about today on this video. Now, when I'm talking about content, I'm really just referring to the words and images on your site. So Google likes to see between 1,500 and 2,000 words, kind of at a minimum on the page, to give it a good idea of what you do and where you are. The exact amount is kind of going to depend on the competition and also the number of keywords that you want to be found for. So in other words, like what to explain what you do and where you are. Because a keyword is really anything someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product. So let's look at what a Google search might look like. I went to Google and I typed in home organizer, Gainesville, Florida. And this is what came, well, actually, this is not what came up. Let me go back to the first page. So what came up was actually you. So you were doing fantastic. You are the very top. There is not enough, or Google isn't aware of enough home organizers in the Gainesville area to come up with a map pack. Normally, if there is enough providers of a service or product, what you're going to see first is a map. And then that has three businesses on it. Sometimes there's four, but the fourth one is usually an ad. But in that map pack, those are super easy for people to use, and so they're getting more and more traffic as a result of them. To get in that map pack, if there is one, you obviously need to have a Google business page, which you do. That's what this is. You need to make sure it's filled out as completely and accurately as possible. And then the other thing is you want to have your name, address, and phone number listed in the exact same format and on the web in as many places as possible. So when you do that, every place you do that is considered a citation. So the idea is that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet. And the larger your online presence is, the more Google trusts you. And then usually below that map pack is what we'll see for the organic results. Well, there's no map pack here, so this is all organic results. And organic just means not paid. Now, ideally, you would want to be in the top three as well, which you are. You are the top result. So that is awesome. Now let's go back to your page for a second. So here is your page. It is absolutely lovely. Hold on. It is very clear that you have, this menu as far as what you do, which is home organizing and coaching. You've got your rates listed on a page. What is not really, there's not a lot of on this homepage is content. In fact, when I plugged you into a word counter, the reason I paused for a second is I wasn't sure if this was all there was to the home page, but it is. And so I plugged you into a word counter, and you actually only have 46 words here. So like I mentioned, there is a lot of room that you could potentially grow and get more keywords in there. Because if I look at your website, you are currently getting about 48 visitors per month. That is being driven from 18 keywords, and this is throughout your website. So simplify organization, that's kind of very much a part of your name. Well, that particular term is being searched 350 times per month. You are in position 4 for that. So that's awesome, and that's netting you about 32 unique visitors per month just from that keyword. For home organization, Gainesville, Florida, that's being searched about 40 times. You're in the first position for that, which is actually what we kind of saw. And that's getting you 13 visitors per month. These other things, so there are 10 Google results per Google result page. So once you get past number 10, you don't really see very much traffic. And that's bearing out here because you can see for some of these other things that Google has found you for, you're in the second page or greater. And so they're not really netting you very much traffic at all. So that's one thing I would look at is what kind of keywords do you want to be found for? And really using your using content on this home page in order to be able to get that in there. Now, when I was looking for some competitors for you, there really weren't any on this front page because all of these ones on the front page, except for you, are directories. I don't count directories. So I actually had to dig into the second page and found Moss and Mint Home Organizing and professionalorganizerflorida.com, which is a lady named Marla. And so those are the two people that I compared you to. This is the Moss and Mint Homes. You can see that they've got a little bit more content. They also have pictures. They've got call outs for some of their stuff that they've done, which is all great. If we look at them through this tool that I'm using called RFs to see what their traffic is like though, they need some help. So they're only getting one unique visitor per month, and that's being driven off 5 keywords. Now, the other competitor was this lady, Naples Premier Professional Organizer. Um, and so let's take a look at what her site is looking for. So she's getting about 31 visitors per month, and that is being based off of 140 keywords. And let's dive in just to see what she's doing. So one is her name. So she's number one for her name, but looks like she's based a little further south. So home organization, Fort Myers, Florida. That's being searched 100 times per month, and she's in position 6. So that's getting her 6 visits per month. But you can see kind of how important it can be to target the kind of customers that you want to find you. Now, the other thing that I look at when I'm comparing websites is backlinks. So all a backlink is a clickable link from another website back to yours. These links act like an endorsement of your website from others, which Google uses again to build trust. It basically is seeing these other businesses vouch for you. So it's kind of like a popularity contest, but not exactly, because not all links are created equal. So those relevant to your business will count more, as will those that are local. And ideally, a link should be just as powerful as it is trustworthy in Google's eyes. So when I'm comparing the strength of your backlink profile, I can actually use this same tool and look at it. And they have these 2 scores here which help me to kind of compare apples to apples. So this DR rating is really saying how strong are the links coming into your site. And this is on a scale of 0 to 100. So strength-wise, you're at about an 8. And the UR is how trustworthy are those links, and you're at about a 7. Now, ideally, these two together the ratio should be about 1, and so you're really close. So that's great. If I were to look at the Moss and Mint homes, they're at a 0.6 for power and a 5 for trust. So a little disparate, um, a little difference there, but they clearly can use some help there as well. And then for DR and UR on the professionalorganizerflorida.com, 12 and 12, so even. So a very, very good ratio there, and coming up on the power and trust. But it's when all of these things come together, so the content, the backlinks, and the citations, that's when you begin ranking higher and higher, and more customers will find you. So maybe you want to target different areas. Maybe you want to target some of your coaching. All of these things can be done through that content. So I hope this information has been helpful. Would love to hear some feedback on it. If you do find yourself wanting to know more, feel free to reach out. What we can do is we can talk about what your goals are and then do some research to figure out exactly what might be realistic for your business and what it might take to reach those goals. Again, I hope this was helpful. My name is Lori with Soul Sisters Digital Design. My number is 352-235-9803. Thanks so much for watching. Look forward to your feedback.